Got a snapping turtle.
Yep. Ooh. That was hopefully the bone and not your tooth, right? Hi, I'm Coyote Peterson, and this is Ray, a longtime fan of the Brave Wilderness channel. Today we're headed out to look for the common snapping turtle to determine whether or not one of these large reptiles is capable of biting off a human finger. Maybe his.
Yeah, that's not what I signed up for.
Well, you signed up for something, and I can promise you guys there's definitely gonna be some bites. But before we do the bites, we gotta catch the turtles.
Yes, sir.
You ready for that?
Let's do it.
It's turtle time. When it comes to catching ginormous snapping turtles, also known as mud dragons, my favorite location is Blended Woods Metro Park in Columbus, Ohio, where I have special permits to document this unique population of reptiles. Joining me on this adventure is fellow dragon wrangler Ray Tiller. He's a longtime fan of Brave Wilderness and has a channel of his own called Fantastic Films. Make sure to check it out after this episode. He makes some pretty awesome content.
Got a snapping turtle.
Yep. Oh, he's big. Oh, yeah, he's big. Oh, yeah. Good turtle, good turtle, good turtle. Yes, this is that super mean one. Holy cow, yeah, he's angry. Ah, yes. Look at that beast.
That out.
Wow. That is a huge turtle.
That is such a good sized turtle.
Oh, this is the one I was telling you about that doesn't have a name. It is an absolute giant,
Perfect.
algae-covered monster. He is so angry right now.
Perfect definition of a mud dragon. Whew. Have you ever caught this turtle before?
No, I have not. At first I thought it was Hubert because of the nub on his tail. He's very bizarre looking. Good turtle though, very healthy. So we're ultimately gonna get to the snapping turtle bite test. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about snapping turtle bites. I've been bitten 7 times in total, and I know in working with snapping turtles, you two have been bitten before.
Yeah, as you're gonna know better than anybody else on the planet, when you're working with snapping turtles, especially on a daily basis, bites are bound to happen. So I've been nicked in the shin, I've been nicked on my forearm, a couple times on the hand, but as you guys can see, I still have all 10 of my fingers, so nothing too bad has come from a snapping turtle bite yet.
You'd say warning bites.
More of warning bites, you know, a quick turnaround and they just kind of nip me and immediately release.
Yep, same. I've never had a snapping turtle bite and hold, and it's that crushing power that can be most detrimental. Now, when we're talking about a snapping turtle bite, can I use you as the example here?
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead and put your hand out. When you're looking at a snapping turtle skull, big shout out to my friends at Skulls Unlimited for providing us with this common snapping turtle and this alligator snapping turtle skull. With the common snapping turtle, like all turtles, they have beaks and not teeth. So when a bite happens, kind of turn your hand sideways there, you've got 3 possible factors. There's going to be the speed of how fast it hits you, there's going to be the pinch point of where the beak connects, and then of course there is the lock and crushing power. And if I turn the snapping turtle skull sideways like this, you see these 2 open cavities?
Yeah.
That is where these very large muscles connect to the jaw. Now, when a human bites down, our muscles get tired pretty quickly. Not the case for a snapping turtle. So if it bites and it holds, it just continues to crush and crush and crush.
And there's no telling when that snapping turtle is gonna let go.
And that is why these animals can be considered potentially dangerous if you interact with them and end up with a bite. Now, before we get to the actual bite test itself with the turtle, I got a question for you. Do you think you could bite off a human finger?
I don't think I could bite off a finger cleanly if you gave me maybe some time to kind of work it around and
Kind of like gnaw it off?
Yeah, really get in there. I think I could get one off, yeah.
Okay. I feel like I probably could too, like in a situation where like you were being abducted or it was a zombie apocalypse. But we did a little test. We went to a dentist here locally in Columbus and we did a couple of bite tests on me to find out where my teeth actually connect at the strongest points. And his opinion was probably not gonna bite a human finger clean off.
I'd say it's possible if somebody had enough adrenaline in their system to really make those muscles go, it would be possible. I wouldn't think it'd be very likely. At least you're not gonna probably shear it off. You'd have to bite it and you'd have to wrangle a little bit to get it to tear.
Now, a snapping turtle cannot bite and swing its head. So this is just biting and it's crushing.
Right.
So for today's bite test, I have 2 very unique items for us.
Let's see what you got.
Inside of this container are 2 prosthetic hands built by our friends at Ballistic Dummy Lab. Now these are incredible state-of-the-art hands. They are just like real human flesh, made from a non-toxic gelatin, and inside you've got a tendon structure and resin bones that are the same density as human bones.
I'm starting to regret what I said earlier when I said I think I can take off a human finger. I think it might be best to approach it kind of like a snapping turtle because they can't get in there, you know, with molars or anything and kind of try to tear a finger off. So maybe with the front part of my mouth, biting, we'll start on the thumb.
You're gonna try to bite off the thumb? Oh, okay. I mean, this is your call.
I mean, we'll start with the thumb to
Bite
see
the thumb.
just how much damage I can do with my front teeth, and then maybe work into my molars and see what we can do.
This is an experiment. I mean, we have no idea what's gonna happen. But we've only got one shot at this because we have one hand for us to bite, one hand for the turtles to bite. Now be careful. I don't want you to hurt your teeth. So when you bite down, maybe don't bite down like you're actually attacking somebody, but like take your time with it. I don't know what it's gonna do as you bite in with your teeth.
Okay.
And now you have to say, I'm Ray Tiller, and I'm going to enter the bite zone with a prosthetic human hand.
Okay, I think I got it. Ready?
Yeah. Are you guys ready? Everybody out there watching ready? I think so.
All right, let's do it. I'm Ray Tiller, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with a prosthetic human hand. You ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
Oh wow, you're not even breaking skin.
I got down to the bone so far, but there's no way you could bite through a bone with just your front teeth.
So you're actually hitting fake bone in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you definitely did some damage there. You can see where your teeth bit through the skin.
Right.
And you got down to the bone. We'll have to get a real good tight shot of that. So you did, and that was biting straight down.
Yeah.
Now, let's see what happens when you bite and kind of move your head around and try to remove the thumb.
Here we go, round number 2.
Oh, that was hopefully the bone and not your tooth, right?
Yeah, that was the bone, not the tooth.
Oh, that was the gross. That really sounded like human bone cracking.
I could see the fear in your eyes when you
I was afraid
heard
you
it.
broke your tooth. So can you get the thumb off now?
Can I twist it around?
I think so, yeah, bite. See if you can get the thumb off.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's gross. Oh my gosh, you bit off its thumb.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you broke the bone and you ripped off the thumb. Oh my gosh, that is the grossest feeling in the world. Oh, my hand's kind of like shaking, it's so gross. You did it.
I did it.
You bit off a human thumb.
And
I
don't know how comfortable I am out there knowing that now I can bite off a human thumb.
Oh my gosh. So it probably is possible if you were to bite and twist and crack the bone and get a human thumb off.
But just going straight down, there's no way. There's no way it can be possible.
That was weird.
I bet it was weird watching, like the sounds were so realistic.
That crack was crazy.
I could see the fear in your eye, like wondering if it was my tooth or if it was actually something in the hand.
Yeah, okay. Now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. How will a snapping turtle do with a prosthetic hand? So here's how it's going to go down. You're gonna take the turtle out of the bin and I'm going to control the hand. That way if anything goes wrong, I'm getting bitten and not you. But I'm going to approach it from the side. I want to see if these fingers getting damaged initially becomes the most impactful, because in any instance where I've been close to being bitten by a snapping turtle, it's usually this hand on that side from not paying attention. Maybe a hand coming up this way and then the turtle getting you there.
Right. Now, I want to know what your predictions are. What do you think the snapping turtle is going to be able to do, knowing the size and, of course, knowing their bite strength?
I think it's gonna crush this hand, no problem. Really? I think it's gonna break bone. I think it's gonna remove a finger. Now, if the snapping turtle bites and lets go, we'll try the thumb. If the snapping turtle bites and crushes through, well, we'll try a second bite test. As long as the snapping turtle is allowing us to continue the bite test and move forward, we'll see how many fingers it removes.
All right, well, let's see what the damage a snapping turtle can do.
All right, get the dragon.
Let's do it.
Oh man, that is an angry turtle. Holy
You ready?
Yeah, put him down.
This is a huge snapping turtle.
So let's give him a couple seconds to see if we can get him to calm down.
Yeah, see if we can get him to calm down here.
Yep, there you go. I'll try to get his attention here. This is the hand. There we go. Nice.
There we go. Staying a little calm right now.
This is not the size snapping turtle you would ever want to actually be bitten by. He looks super angry. Look how gnarly. Jeez. Okay, he's ready for a bite. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What I'm gonna do is I have the hand on a stick like this, and what I'm gonna do is get the turtle's attention this direction. Here, buddy. And we're gonna go in from the side. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Definitely crushed the bone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he is locked. Oh, he let go. Let go. Huge impact.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he snapped right through the bone.
Yeah.
Right through the bone. All right, bite test 1 on that side finger. Medical emergency, without question.
Yeah.
Let's go for the thumb. But that was a bite and release. I expected him to hold.
Yeah, me too.
Bite and release.
Maybe he'll hold on this time.
Bite number 2.
Ooh.
Oh, chomping.
Oh, look at him. That's the scissor power of their jaws that you just saw.
Wow, look at that. Look at how deep that cut is into the flesh.
He really got in there, and you could see him chewing on it, like using that scissor power.
He was
to
chomping.
Really work down there.
You can see the damage on this side as well. However, did not remove the thumb. So let's try this. Lift the turtle up a little bit, because now he's feeling a little more agitated because he's up in the air slightly. Right. Bite test number 3, fingers going in.
Ooh,
see that?
Missed that?
Oh, he bit the tip of the finger right off.
Oh my
He bit the tip of the finger off. That was speed and precision right there.
I thought he missed. It was so quick.
I want him to spit that out. Remember, this is non-toxic. There we go. Non-toxic gel. So even if the turtle swallows little pieces of this, it will not be a problem. So that turtle just removed the tip of that finger.
That is insane.
And that's what I was curious about. Is the speed going to do something when it comes to the impact? So let's try that one more time with the thumb. The final test is the snapping turtle in full fight mode into the thumb.
You ready to pick him back up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, he's locked on.
Ready?
Yep.
Ooh, look at that speed. Oh, he broke the thumb. Broke the thumb. Oh. Back the turtle up a little bit.
Oh my.
Oh my
God.
There you have it. Thumb completely dismembered from the hand.
And that was clean too.
That was.
Did you hear that crunch
Broke
as soon
the
as he
bone
bit down?
and destroyed the flesh.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I think we got the results that we were hoping for.
You could say
All right,
that.
Let's put the turtle back into the container.
Right.
Let's analyze the hand. Oh man. I think it's fair to say that different strikes have different impacts. And that's the thing that I have experienced with snapping turtle bites. There are warning bites. There are certainly bites where they could lock down, but the impact that happened on the thick part of the flesh here of the hand, look at how it opened that up.
Insane.
Imagine that being your actual hand.
I don't want to.
Right there, huge crushing blow. Tip of finger lopped off. This is pretty much what almost happened to me on my middle finger the one time that I was bitten by a snapping turtle.
Right.
But the removal of that thumb at the right angle and the snap of that bone, that was crazy.
Crazy. And you were talking about warning bites. I would say that's a very defensive and angry bite. And I think that's why he did more damage on that one.
He is definitely an angry snapping turtle. Now, each turtle's gonna have a different demeanor. Some are calmer than others. That is obviously a big, powerful, dominant male here in this environment. We're also at the tail end of breeding season, so I'm sure their testosterone is fired up.
Oh yeah.
But that is about as angry as it gets when it comes to a snapping turtle.
I would say so, yeah.
So for everybody out there watching, what advice would you give? What warning would you give when it comes to interacting with snapping turtles?
Admire these animals from a safe distance. This bite test today proved that all it takes is a 1 second slip up, 1 second, and your hand is gonna be looking just like this, and your thumb is probably gonna be off somewhere else missing. So please don't go out there and perform what you see me and Coyote doing.
And if you're ever in a dark alley, try to avoid Ray because he is also capable of biting off a finger.
That is true.
Well, Ray, thank you so much for being a part of today's episode. Where can everybody out there watching find your work that you're doing?
So Fantastic Films on YouTube and Raymond_Tiller on Instagram. I post a whole bunch of cool animal and adventure content, so make sure to go check it out.
Dude, it was so awesome working with you today. You did an amazing amazing job. Big thanks to Ballistic Dummy Labs for providing us with these incredible hands, and of course Skulls Unlimited for providing us with the snapping turtle skulls. And with that, I think it's time to get that angry turtle back into the wild.
I think he's ready to go.
Turtle in a boat, needs to go back into the water. Today I'm on the hunt for one of the world's most widespread stinging plants, something you may have even encountered yourself. And my goal is to rank its sting on the Plant Sting Pain Index. Now this plant, the stinging nettle, is often found in an aquatic environment. So I'm gonna, I just swallowed a bug. They're normally found in an aquatic environment, so I'm gonna head out on this river to see if I can track it down. But before I can get on the water, first, I need to put my boat together. Wait until you see how easily this turns into a vessel. What's great about the lightweight nature of this kayak is you can actually go against the water. So I'm traveling upstream right now so that once I find the nettles, I can turn around and go back, and it'll make my return journey a lot easier than my exodus. Nothing more fun than rowing upriver. Okay, so when it comes to stinging nettle, a remedy for that itch is this plant right here. It's called jewelweed or touch-me-not. They have these very distinct orange flowers, and you will oftentimes find it growing where there's stinging nettle. But I do want to collect a little bit of jewelweed to see if it truly works as a remedy for stinging nettle irritation.
We got our antidote. Now we just need to find the irritant.
Ooh, got a good spot up here to bring my kayak to the shore and try to make some progress up the edge of the embankment to see if we can find some nettle. Good shaded area up here and some real dense foliage. Ha! Found some. Check this out. Okay, we got it. That is stinging nettle. And all I really need is one really good big stalk like that, and we're going to be in business. There you have it. One very irritating stinging nettle leaf. We got exactly what it is that we came for. Now time to get back to the boat. This is what a successful mission looks like. On my right, we have the stinging nettle, and on my left, its possible antidote, the jewelweed. Now, here's the unique thing about the stinging nettle as compared to the gimpy and the giant stinging leaf. We know that both of those stinging plants in Australia put me in an immense amount of pain. This is definitely going to be painful, but the thing is, it's not going to last nearly as long. With the giant stinging leaf, the first thing that I was stung by, the pain lasted for about 25 or 30 minutes. With the gimpy, to date, my arm is still experiencing discomfort. Occasionally it will flare up with itching, and if I place anything cold, like a Gatorade, a water bottle, an ice cube, onto my forearm, it immediately feels like there are electric, freezing cold lightning bolts shooting through my arm. So is it fair to say that maybe I went a little too far with the gimpy? You know, we learned a lot and we got a lot of entertainment at the same time, so I think it was worth it. But with the stinging nettle, you're going to see an incredible reaction. And we're going all the way here. We're not just dipping our toes in the water. I'm going to rub the leaves up and down my forearm. And you're going to see that in a matter of seconds, my arm is going to explode with welts, redness, and incredible discomfort. Now, what's causing that discomfort? Well, as we learned from the gimpy and the giant stinging leaf, it's the trichomes, the little nettles on the underside of the stem and the leaves that will essentially break off and then release the toxins. What does the chemical compound look like with these toxins? Let's take a look.
The cocktail of agony I am about to intentionally face is made up of ingredients that break down into two categories: neurotransmitters and acids. Histamine, acetylcholine, and serotonin are what cause the impressive visual reaction you will see, while three fun-loving acids, including formic, tartaric, and oxalic, can create immediate and in some cases extended waves of pain. Be warned that everyone has the potential to react differently. And for the sake of this experiment, I will not be holding back when it comes to pushing extreme envenomation.
So we're gonna test out a leaf, we're gonna test out the actual stem, which I have a piece of snipped here, and then of course, for the grand finale, a whole bundle that is covered in trichomes. Now remember, with the giant stinging leaf and the gimpy gimpy, I simply touched it to my skin. I know that this isn't going to be nearly as bad, and to give you guys the best possible reaction, I wanna go all the way. So we're gonna get that camera rolling, and without further ado, it is time to test the stinging nettle and rank it on the plant sting pain index. Here we go. Ugh, one leaf first. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the nettle zone with the stinging nettle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh, I can definitely feel that already. Oh yeah, it is bad. Oh, it happens in a hurry too. All right, let me try the stem. Ah, jeez, that burns. Oh, and some nettles feel like they're worse than the others. He's kind of dusted around. Ah! Okay. And last but not least, the bundle. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, the bundle is the worst. Okay, there's definitely more nettles up near the top of these smaller leaves than the big leaves. This is such a bad idea. Get this leaf too. Let's not leave anybody out. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, just all the way. There we go. Gosh. Okay, nettling officially complete. Oh. Okay, so about 20 seconds in, yeah, it starts to build noticeably. You can immediately see the redness beginning to form in my arm. Now, different from the gimpy gimpy and the giant stinging leaf, the burning here is almost like a rug burn. If you've ever slid on your carpet and you had your knees drag across it, I can feel that burning happening. And that's that mix of chemical compounds that are immediately beginning to have an effect with my skin. Blood vessels beneath the skin are beginning to expand. That's causing inflammation and giving me all of that redness. And eventually, there are going to be little welts that start to form. I'm starting to see them in several places here. And when you run into something, oh, I just want to like get up and move around. When you run into stinging nettle in the wild, it is unexpected, and it oftentimes will feel like an insect sting because it just comes on in mass. And if it brushes up against your leg, and then all of a sudden you turn around and you're in a bushel of it, you're gonna get stung again and again and again. So it causes people to panic, and then you may end up running in the wrong direction, and the wrong direction could be deeper into the nettles. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're getting nettled, the best thing to do is to just stop, pay attention to your surroundings, and then slowly back yourself out of what it is that you've just walked into. And wow, look at that. It's almost instantaneous. Look at all the welts beginning to form. We're about 1 minute and 30 seconds in. Now, if it happens to you, calamine lotion, ice, water, all those things should soothe some of the burning and itching immediately. But in nature, it is actually the jewelweed and its aloe-like mucousy internal substance that can alleviate the discomfort. Okay, it has been 15 minutes since the ultimate nettling, and my arm looks disgusting at the moment. Look at all of these welts. It looks like I have contracted some sort of bizarre alien disease on my forearm. And you may be wondering, Coyote, does it still hurt? Yes, but it's really not that bad. If anything, it's beginning to itch. And here is the local remedy that I wanted to try. This is jewelweed, also known as touch-me-not. Gonna actually slice the stem open vertically. Check that out. See inside there? All of that. And it is a little sticky, feels a little bit like aloe, not quite as viscous though. Okay, it's got a cooling sensation to it. Actually, kind of just feels good to itch all of those bumps. Let's try some more. A nice big piece here. Now, the bigger the jewelweed stem, the better your chances of getting all of that great soothing interior mucus. Look at that. Take both of those pieces. Oh, that's the spot right there. I think I just had to hit the jackpot. Wow, very cool to the touch. Now it is wet, so that's helping a little bit. With the gimpy, any sort of moisture made it really painful, but with this, I am definitely beginning to feel some soothing relief. Wow. Holy cow, all right, it is working. Jewelweed providing relief for the stinging nettle sting. Okay, I'm just gonna let that set in. Almost instantly, once I got the right amount of jewelweed mucus on my arm, it seemed to immediately alleviate the discomfort that I was experiencing. Wow, that is really impressive. Now, I did read that it could quite possibly be a placebo effect, taking my mind off of the discomfort on my arm, but I gotta say, the immediacy of this feeling like it was burning and wanting to be itched has now completely just turned into a slightly cool, numbing sensation. Well, it's been 30 minutes since I took on the onslaught of stinging nettle trichomes. And at this point, the pain in my forearm is completely gone. Yes, I still have welts. Yes, it's still red. Yes, it's still kind of disgusting looking. But what we ultimately learned is that this plant, while it can be painful to wander into, it's not gonna put you in momentous amounts of pain. If you find yourself having wandered into a patch of them, simply stop, back yourself out of the situation, and go the opposite direction. If you do feel that trichomes have gone into your skin, look for jewelweed, because the mucus-like interior will immediately provide you with relief. Now, when it comes to ranking this plant on the Plant Sting Pain Index, I would definitely say that it is a 1 as compared to the Gimpy's 4. So what's next? I'm not sure. Write in the comment section below and tell us, what stinging plant should we experiment with next?
When I say Tasmanian devil, I have a good feeling that the first thing that comes to mind is this guy right here, Taz from the Looney Tunes cartoon. One of my favorites as a kid. He was notorious for being ill-tempered, spinning around like a tornado, destroying everything, and talking like this. But what do you really know about this creature? It's one of the most unique marsupials on the planet. Carnivorous, it's a scavenger, and they're famous for having one of the most powerful bite forces based on size per body mass. Today we're gonna find out just how powerful that bite is by entering into a feeding frenzy with an entire pack of Tasmanian devils. But what I ultimately want to determine is whether or not the Tasmanian devil has a softer side. Perhaps that bite isn't quite as loud as its bark.
The Barrington Tops are unlike any other place in Australia, and they resemble the environment devils naturally roam on the island of Tasmania. Today we will be working alongside Kelly Davis at AUSSIARC, a conservation organization that began in 2011. This initiative was strategically set up and separated from Tasmania, where in recent years, an incurable illness known as devil facial tumor disease has decimated wild populations of devils, driving their species toward the brink of extinction. It's a massive undertaking, but thanks to an incredibly successful and quite active breeding program, a founding population of 44 devils has now produced over 500 healthy joeys. And until a cure is found, this insurance population survival is crucial to the future of this species. More on that and how you can help at the end of the video. But right now, it's time for dinner with a devil.
Good morning.
Hey, how you going?
Good, Cal, nice to meet you.
You too.
All right, looks like we've got some prep already set up with our Tasmanian devil feeding frenzy. I brought Taz with me today. Has a film crew ever brought a Tasmanian devil to a Tasmanian devil feeding frenzy?
I think it's a first.
Yes, I was hoping that would be the case. What is the buffet line that we have set up for the devils today?
So we've got some nice, lean, natural kangaroo for them, so all the buckets are ready to go.
Okay, oh really? I don't have to chop anything up?
You can if you want to.
I will definitely avoid cutting up the meat if I have to. I'll just get right into the feeding frenzy.
Awesome.
Okay, so grab these buckets?
Yeah, they can
All
just
right.
go on the back of the ute.
Oh, wow, yeah, no. Definitely smells like fresh kangaroo. Okay, this is the first gate we must go through, and then there'll be a second gate. Let me know just in advance, little safety, quick tips before we enter with the devils.
Absolutely, so they're all here ready and waiting. They're very keen, they're very, very food motivated. But the thing of it is that the meat, that's what they want.
Okay.
So a lot of people are really tempted to try and walk to where we need to go and hold the meat high up in the air. If they can't get to the meat, they're gonna get for you.
Right.
So you wanna just make sure that they're on the meat and you always keep the meat between you and the devil.
Yeah, we'll avoid the bites as best as we can. This is our, this is like a whole leg. Oh yeah, okay. Grab this up and, all right, I think I'm ready. Let's feed some Tasmanian devils.
Let's do it.
Oh, hey fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got meat here. Little sniff test, nice and fresh. Oh, you guys hear them? All right, so they're getting really fired up now, right?
Absolutely, they can't wait.
So the sense of smell is what's drawing them all in from all the underbrush.
Absolutely, they could smell that when we drove it through the main gate.
Okay.
You ready?
All right, here we go.
Make sure you keep the meat low. Let them have it.
Look at this. Look at this. Look what Coyote's got. Oh, all right, we got one on. Got one on. There you go, guys. Everybody in for a little bit of the kangaroo buffet line. They're really heavy. So much strong. It's like playing tug of war with your dog in the backyard. Only, whoa, with a bunch of biting. Ultimate Tasmanian devil tug of war. Woo! All right, coming up on the pole here. And, oh, there you go, guys. Woo! Ah, that's fantastic. All right, Cal, so we are right here, about as close as you could get to a devil frenzy.
Yes.
And not necessarily in danger at this point. Like you said, they're really focused on the meat.
Well, this is the thing. People have this idea about what a Tasmanian devil is, and it is largely affected by cartoons, etc. But you know, how many carnivores can you eat? Lions, you're not going into a pride of lions as they're tearing apart something, and that's what they're focused on. They're not hunters, they're really scavengers. So we're alive, we're fine.
So they smell the fact that this is non-living meat, and they say this is exactly what we should be feasting on. And they're, in a sense, the cleanup crew within the environment.
Absolutely, they perform such an important ecological role in that regard, preventing spread of disease.
When we're talking bite force with this animal, where does it rank amongst Australia's mammals?
It's actually the strongest closing bite force for any animal for their size. So if you scaled it up, they'd be, you know, more powerful than a lion or a tiger or a whale or anything like that. They're only around 8 to 10 kilos, but they have the equivalent jaw pressure of a 50-kilo dog.
I mean, look at how fast they're just demolishing that meat, and they'll go through the tendon, the skin, the hair, and even the bone.
Absolutely, yeah. They go for what is quickest first, so they can get as much food as possible because they don't really want to share too much. And so that's the muscle. That's really quick and easy for them to do. And then, you know, the smaller bones that are really easy, then start working on that skin and that fur. It takes a little bit more effort. And then that big, thick leg bone, they'll be gnawing on for a little while.
So you can see as they're getting excited, their ears are actually getting redder as they're continuing with their meal.
So what that is, why they have the red ears, is, you know, for us, if we exert ourselves, our face flushes and that's how we cool down. Because they're covered in fur, they can't do that. Except on the ears, you don't have much fur covering, so they've got lots of blood vessels within that area, and so their blood rushes to the ears to help cool them down.
Easy. You guys
So this is something that we see as well. As that food has gotten less, that's when those fights start to break out a little more. They're fighting over those last easy morsels.
They're definitely very focused on the meal at the moment. It's impressive to see how quickly they've they've really worked off all of the meat at this point. Now they're really into just the tendons and the bones. And will they actually digest the bone?
They will, yeah. You can actually see it in their scat, in their feces, where they've got, it's a paler color, and that's where they've ingested a lot of that bone.
Now I noticed that their faces are quite gnarled. Is this from fighting? I mean, their hides must be incredibly tough to be fighting each other and biting each other all the time.
Yeah, so people think it's over food, but for the most part, the fights in devils occur during breeding.
Okay.
It's this sort of test of strength, but they're not really too much or very often biting each other, but that's enough for those scars to occur and enough for the disease to spread through the population as well.
Right, so when it comes to devil facial tumor disease, that's how it's primarily spread from devil to devil. It sounds like it's more of posturing in many instances than it is an actual full-on fight, but that's how the disease is ultimately transmitted.
Absolutely, and if you think about how quickly they've just eaten that, if you're spending too long fighting, then you're going to miss out on food. And so a lot of their little interactions are very brief and a lot of bluff and display. But it is, you know, this disease is spread through their natural behaviours, what they'd normally be doing. Now that you've seen how quickly they can tear apart flesh, would you like to hold one?
I think I would love to hold a devil. Let's see if I can do that without losing some fingers.
Let's go.
All right, Cal, so we're gonna get into an enclosure now with a devil that may be a little friendlier. Do I need my bite-proof gloves to snuggle?
Should be okay, but just don't quote me on that.
Okay, we'll see what happens. And we're gonna be meeting with Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy, or Sandra D, she's one of our ambassador devils. So she's a lot more humanized and usually enjoys a little cuddle.
Okay, well, this will be the softer side of Tasmanian devils. We've seen what they look like ferocious. I see her over there. Let's see if we can make friends.
All right. This is actually her brother, Danny.
Oh, this is Danny.
This is Danny, or Danny Zuko.
That is like the quintessential field guide specimen devil right there. So then this must be Sandy.
This is
Do you want us to go back here into the shade? You just grabbed onto her, just like that. Okay.
Since she was really, really little, she loves a little bit of a comfort bite. So that's what she'd be doing with Mum, just holding on and making sure that she's safe and has that connection. So she might do that with your clothing or your fingers or something like that, but there shouldn't be any aggression to it. She just wants to feel nice and comfortable. But how cool are those feet?
The pads are incredible. I mean, it feels a little bit like a raccoon paw. It's like if a raccoon and a badger combined together and this was their paw, that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
You ready?
Let's see, I'm ready. Hi.
And probably keep her away from your face,
Yeah,
just in case.
Just in case. Sandy, hi, buddy. Oh, yep, there's the little comfort chew on the jacket. Yeah, you chew away on the jacket. Totally cool with me. Totally cool. Yep, that's a zipper. Very nice. Yeah, she's so soft. The bristliness of the coat is really cute. All right, let's just crouch down right here. Let's see if she'll hang out with us for a second.
Hi, baby.
All right. So let's talk for a second about the conservation work that you guys are doing here at ASIARC. When we were in the middle of the frenzy, we talked a little bit about devil facial tumor disease. But why is it so important for you guys to be creating a contingency population of these animals right now?
If the devils go extinct in Tasmania in the wild, so does the disease. And so if you have that insurance population, you can repopulate. And so that's, that's where ASIARC came in, or Devil Arc as we used to be. And we were a dedicated breeding facility for Tasmanian devils. You know, we have 200 here, so that's, you know, don't do that. More than double the carrying capacity worldwide as it was previously.
So in doing this, you guys are ensuring that devils will never go extinct. They're not going to go the way of the thylacine. And this population will ensure that no matter what happens in the wild in Tasmania, devils will always be a part of our planet.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Well, Cal, it certainly was an amazing experience getting in today with the devil feeding frenzy and then getting to see this softer side of a creature that has such a ferocious reputation. I mean, Sandy here has just been snuggling for multiple minutes in a row. I don't want to let her down, but she definitely wants to just get back in and run around in her enclosure. Thank you so much for having us out today. This was awesome. All right, Sandy, I think it's time for lunch. What do you think?
It takes a massive amount of dedication to care for this population of devils. And if you would like to be a part of this ongoing effort, visit ASIARC's website and discover how you can help preserve the future for these adorably ferocious creatures.
Today's gonna be a zinger of an episode. We are headed out onto the Pacific Ocean to search for one of the most bizarre alien-like animals on the planet. the hagfish. And we're gonna answer 3 very important questions. Number 1, what is a hagfish? Number 2, do they bite? And number 3, what happens when I cover myself in their extremely crazy and viscous slime? Stay tuned, guys. This episode is gonna get messy.
To catch a hagfish, we have teamed up with world-renowned hagfish expert, Dr. Doug Fudge. He's a professor at Chapman University in Southern California, where he and his colleagues are testing a variety of hagfish slime applications.
This is a 5-gallon bucket that we've modified into a hagfish trap. It has these eel cones here. This is how the hagfish smell the bait and also enter the trap.
Also joining today's adventure is my good friend and biologist, Pat Spain. We baited the traps, threw them overboard, and then mounted a GoPro camera to a platform with a stinky fish head to see if we could capture behavioral shots of hagfish eating in the wild. I know what you're thinking. Is that really going to work? Well, I had my doubts too, but just wait till you see what we catch on camera. Trust me, it's freaky. After the trap sat on the ocean floor for several hours, it was time to bring them up and see if we had any luck.
Any hagfish gets this episode completed. We're so excited, so excited. 1 hagfish can make so much slime, we won't have any problem completing this episode.
100%, all we need is 1.
Yeah.
Moment of truth.
Here we go, we're upping it up.
Oh yeah!
Oh! We got hagfish, ladies and gentlemen!
We got hagfish!
Yes!
We have hagfish, which means I'll definitely be entering the slime zone. So while we motor back in toward shore, check out the footage we got from the fish head cam. Deep down on the dark, freezing cold ocean floor, the camera caught something pretty amazing. Hagfish, drawn into the smell of fresh death, a behavior very rarely seen by human eyes. Okay, who's ready to make some slime? We are back from the field, but Pat, before we get into the entertainment first, we gotta learn a little something about these bizarre looking creatures. What in the world is a hagfish?
A hagfish is a primitive fish-like creature, one of the strangest animals on Earth, and really an alien.
But they do serve an incredibly important purpose.
They do, yeah. They're part of the cleanup crew of the benthic zone. So
Okay.
the bottom of the ocean, when anything dead falls down to the bottom, they're one of the first on scene to start breaking that up, start eating it, and helping the process of decay.
How do they actually begin to scavenge?
Yeah, it's wild. They are a jawless fish, but they do have teeth, and their teeth are unique. They're made of keratin, like our fingernails.
Okay.
So when they grab a hold of something, their jaws aren't very strong. They're not gonna like rip through the skin of a whale, but they're gonna go into some of the holes that are already in it, either from decay or from some injury that thing sustained. They're gonna go into that carcass, and then they're gonna try to get a little purchase on it. Sometimes they'll tie themselves in a knot and pull their head through the knot to get a little bit of that.
Okay, so what everybody wants to know then is they are obviously capable of biting. The teeth sound horrific in their design and their function. Do they bite humans? What are the odds, do you think, of them actually taking a bite on me? It sounds like they would take like a dime-sized nugget of flesh out from my hand if one lanches on, and
I'm interested to find out.
yeah, let's see what happens. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the hagfish. Here we go. Ooh, the water's very cold. All right, hands in. Wow, I have worked with some animals that are slimy. This has got to be the top slimiest. All right, I'm just gonna real gently.
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh man. So what you're actually looking at here, that opening there,
Yeah.
that's its nostril.
That's not its mouth?
No, it has one nostril that it's
Where the heck is
using
its
for the
mouth,
chemical.
Pat? I gotta put my finger in
So
its
the
mouth.
mouth is underneath that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just see him kind of jump like that?
Ah!
Yeah, so the mouth is under that.
Okay, so go under that.
Yeah, so that's the nostril.
Oh,
That's
I
the
see
mouth.
it.
You're going
I
right
see
to
it.
the mouth.
There's his mouth. All right, let's see. Are you gonna bite? Are you gonna bite? Oh, I don't think he's gonna bite. I can tickle his little mouth. Slime party is starting.
You don't smell like what their food sources are, luckily for us.
I would say the odds of actually taking a bite, even when tickling its bizarre-looking little mouth, is not getting the job done. But I think it's a good opportunity for us to transition to the next
piece of this episode, which is to get into the slime. All right, I'm gonna put this hagfish back down in here, and honestly, the most interesting thing that we are going to see today starts right there. These animals have an insane defensive ability. Would you grab our shark chompers?
Oh yeah.
You guys are gonna love this. So these are sharks. Let's talk about the hagfish's #1 defensive tactic.
So imagine that you're a shark and you go down for a bite.
Dun, 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 dun. Got him. Nope.
So that exactly is the strategy that it would take. So they're not extruding the slime to prevent the shark from biting. They're doing it as a response to the bite. And what happens is exactly what you're seeing. It clogs up the shark's mouth and gills and makes it so the shark can't breathe.
I'm suffocating!
Yeah, theoretically, they could kill a shark with this. So when that shark does that initial bite, when you grab that, it's super sharp. Razor sharp teeth are only puncturing a bit of the hagfish's skin because its body moves around within this loose casing of skin. And because these guys can survive a real shark bite, we're not doing anything that's hurting them or doing anything that's bad for these fish. They are able to survive way, way, way more than this without really being fazed by it.
Look at this. This is exactly what Pat's talking about. I mean, this slime is incredibly viscous, and the fibers that are within the slime is what makes them sort of hold on to this rigidity.
Yeah, the slime is really unique. It's not like the stuff that you made as a kid out of glue. The slime is actually like 90-something% seawater.
Okay.
But it's really, really thick and viscous and just completely unique to anything else in nature.
The hagfish has become world famous for its ability to produce slime. And though it might sound crazy, its most amazing talent is that a hagfish never runs out of slime. But how does the slime actually form? First, let's look at a cross-section of the hagfish. It has a pretty unique internal structure, and between the skin and the muscle are a series of around 160 glands. Within the glands are two kinds of cells: mucus cells that produce the sticky goo, and thread cells that produce coiled fibers known as threads. When a hagfish feels threatened, the glands activate, releasing these threads, and the second they come into contact with ocean salt water, they unravel, creating a slimy expansion that is up to 10,000 times its original volume in less than half a second. This slimy expansion acts as a literal force field of protection around the hagfish, making it impossible for a predator to consume. When the danger is gone, the hagfish ties itself in a knot, works its body backward out of the slime force field, and voila! The animal escapes and goes about its day eating a rotten seafood buffet.
Okay, so now that we know they aren't gonna bite, we know that their defense is slime, we've got to create the ultimate slime challenge. And to do that, we need a lot of slime. Let's go. Whoa. Oh my gosh, that is insane. All it takes, this is, oh my, wow. Wow, that is instantaneous.
As the fibers mix with seawater, it's just forming this slime right in front of our eyes. If you saw this floating around, you'd think this was a jellyfish.
It does
But this
look
all
like a
just
jellyfish.
came from the hagfish.
And this is causing no harm to the animal in any way whatsoever,
Not at
right?
all, not at all.
All right, so Pat, what I want to do next is get this goopy hagfish slime dropping onto my face. This should be fun. Okay guys, so we've made it to part 3 of today's episode, which is to answer the question, how sticky is the slime of a hagfish? And Pat, there's a crazy looking device behind me here. Explain this machine and what it's gonna do.
Chapman University has rigged up this slime drop apparatus, and this is used for different scientific experiments to show what happens when the slime falls at a rapid speed. And this is going to simulate what would happen to a shark when it bites a hagfish. It's going to get a huge face full of slime that's going to gum up its gills and its mouth, and today it's going to gum up Coyote.
So it is entering the slime zone, but it is simulating the suffocation zone, which is essentially what happens to a shark that interacts with a hagfish. So for this experiment, we're going hat off, we're going safety glasses on. That slime is going to be falling faster than you would think, so I want to take all safety precautions, and this is real science here, folks. So ready to enter the slime zone?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Okay, this is it, the moment we have all been waiting for. Coyote Peterson entering the hagfish slime zone in slow motion from multiple different camera perspectives. So here we go. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the slime zone with the hagfish.
Safety goggles on. All right. Okay, 1, 2, release the slime!
It's out of my nose.
I can see how if you were a tiger shark and you came in, it went up my nose. It's coming out my ears. It's so salty. I can imagine if you're a shark and this is in your mouth, you would completely get suffocated. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. It hit my face like a ton of bricks. That impact was insane. Okay, I'm gonna sit up so we can talk about this for a second.
That was a success.
I'm coming up. I'm gonna cut this camera. Yeah, okay, wow.
Yeah, well done.
Soaked, head to toe.
You got a little something on you. Let me get that for you.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it was just like a rush of hagfish slime. The impact of that is obviously a little bit different than if you were to be a shark biting onto a hagfish, but man, I think what we could do is reset the slime mechanism, get a second shot. We're gonna actually cut my head in a little bit more to see if the slime will sit right there. Should we give it another go?
I'm down.
All right, slime challenge number 2. Let's go for this. Wow, that was intense. All right, guys, we're getting ready for the second slime drop. We have now put in the maximum amount of literage that has ever been put in the cauldron to drop straight onto my face. All right, Pat, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Release the slime.
Oh my God! It's like covering my face!
Oh, it's so salty, it's running into my nose. Oh man, that was insane. All right, I'm gonna sit up, Pat.
Yep. Completely engulfed in the slime. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It is really difficult to breathe inside this. I had to breathe out that side of the mouth. So when I try to breathe in from inside the stomach right there.
How's that taste?
It's really salty. You can see how easily you'd be able to suffocate with something like this.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely disgusting.
So you can see marine mammals can do a lot of what you've just did, clear your mouth.
Right.
But if you were a shark or you were a fish that got this stuck in their mouth and gills, you don't have hands, you don't have flippers, you don't have anything that's gonna help you to be able to get that out.
And you would suffocate.
And you'd suffocate.
Wow, well, I have to say, this is an experiment that I never imagined that I would take on, but Pat, thank you so much for helping set this up, and a huge thanks to Chapman University and the incredible Dr. Doug Fudge for allowing me to enter the Hagfish Slime Challenge. I think it's time to get the thumbnail.
We know you want to see that slow-mo slime drop in all its glory again, so here we go. Believe it or not, hagfish, like most marine animals, are under threat. And while no official organization is devoted to their plight just yet, Dr. Fudge and the students of Chapman University hope their research efforts lead to greater regulations and protections for this species in the future. If you are inspired to learn more or find yourself wanting to research these super slimers, please make sure to visit their website.
3, 2, 1,
Hi, I'm Coyote Peterson. And based on the contents of this table in front of me here, you've probably guessed that I'm gonna get stung by something today. Forceps, EpiPen, creatures underneath capsules. And you're absolutely right, I'm gonna be in pain at some point. A couple of months ago, we started something called My Climb Up the Caterpillar Sting Pain Index, the CSPI. I was stung by a caterpillar known as the giant silk moth caterpillar in Costa Rica. Rubbed it all over my arm, and it was a horrible day. We called it Caterpillar Sunday, and boy, was I in a lot of pain. Now, we've got 2 caterpillar species here in front of me. We did a little research, and as it turns out, there are 10 caterpillar species in the United States alone that are capable of putting you into a world of pain. One of these 2 is famous for having the second most painful caterpillar sting in the entire United States. And today, I'm gonna take on the wrath of those bristles. Now, if you look at the caterpillar here on my left, it's big, It's green. It's got blue and yellow spikes, which tells us that it has aposematic warnings to the fact that it may be quite venomous. The one on the right is tiny. It's green, a little furry. Honestly, it's cute. Looks like something you might want to cuddle with. I say we test out the big one first, because usually the bigger it is, the bigger the bite. This is the giant Cecropia moth caterpillar. Ooh, definitely want to be careful with that guy. Man, my hands are shaking just a little bit. Wow, that is a big bug. Look at that, it's already got some silk that it's starting to spin. The giant Cecropia moth caterpillar, ooh, really has a good grip on that leaf, is famous because of its large size, unique colors, and its voracious appetite. Look at that beaster. Holy mackerel, reminds me of one of those creatures that Timon and Pumbaa ate in The Lion King. Oh, this is not something that you would want to feast upon. And you can see all those spines across the back there. Orange, yellow, blue, once again, aposematic, which is a warning to any potential predator that I may be venomous, I may contain a sting, and if you tangle with me, it may be the last meal that you ever attempt to eat. I'm gonna just borrow this leaf away from you here, buddy. Look at all that silk. There it is. Now, in the event that I have an allergic reaction today, as always, we have an epinephrine pen. If I go into anaphylactic shock, this is going to essentially put me in a state where I will be secure and will get me to a medical facility. All right, this caterpillar looks as if it's ready for us to test out the sting. You ready, big buddy? I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the giant Cecropia moth caterpillar. If you guys pick this one as being the one that has the most painful sting, you're about to get your results. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely nothing at all. That caterpillar may look intimidating, but this little guy is completely harmless. I'm sorry, little guy, I meant big guy. This is one of the larger caterpillar species that you'll find here in the United States. And while they do have incredible chompers up front, those chompers are only a threat to the multiple different plant species that they feast upon. So there you have it. We know what the answer to that riddle is. I'm gonna place you right there. This caterpillar, the saddleback, is notorious for having the second most painful sting in the caterpillar kingdom here in the United States. And today, we're gonna find out just how bad that sting really is. Okay, get for a second, take a quick breath. Holy cow.
As I prepare for pain, let me explain what's about to happen. All the bristly looking spines that armor the saddleback, also known as irritating hairs, are hollow and are so sharp they can pierce skin with ease. When aggravated, their tips break off and the neurotoxic venom, which is driven up from a gland in the caterpillar and through those hollow spines, enters the victim and immediately sends waves of terror into whoever or whatever was unlucky enough to make contact. Literally, hundreds of micro hypodermic needles, turning a good day into the worst day ever.
Now, what I love about working with caterpillars, unlike stinging insects, is that they're really easy to work with. When you think about the tarantula hawk, the executioner wasp, the giant hornet, all these things that I had to try to get inside of a net, pick up with the entomology forceps, and then somehow get a glass capsule back over before it flew away after the sting, that's not the issue here, because check this out. I can lift up the little capsule, and this slug caterpillar, as they're known, isn't going anywhere. Now, where did I learn about the saddleback caterpillar? That's a great question. Our good friend and wildlife biologist Christina Wilson was stung by one of these caterpillars.
A few minutes ago, it tagged me on my back.
You just see the area on my back right here is just completely red. It felt like it was on fire the moment it did it.
So Christina was in a momentous amount of pain. She called me up and she said, Coyote, you have got to find one of these caterpillars. She took pictures, sent it to me, we did some research, and truth be told, we've been searching for one of these for a while, but they're very hard to find out in nature because of their incredible camouflage. You can see that it is called the saddleback caterpillar because of the unique saddle-type design on its back. Once again, bright coloration tells us it's aposematic and likely venomous, which it is. And then of course on the back end there, its butt. You've got two little eyeballs. They aren't real eyes, that's called defensive mimicry. Those mimic eyes so that it can potentially scare things away, or if something comes in and does try to grab it, that it bites the back end and not the front end, damaging the head and ultimately killing the caterpillar. What's cool about the cocoon for this species is that it actually uses the spines to help defend itself within the cocoon. So even if you touch the cocoon, you could be envenomated. They're known as slug caterpillars because they don't actually have little suction cup feet like most caterpillars, but instead have this weird little underbelly that secretes a liquid that allows them to slide, just like a slug, over the surface of whatever it is that they're slinking along on. I know it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, like I know that. I have no doubt about it. Christina is extremely tough, and if she said she was in excruciating pain, I know it's gonna be the exact same for me. So what I'm gonna do is just hold my forearm over the caterpillar and lightly brush it up and down my skin. And just like the giant silkmoth caterpillar, I think that's gonna get the job done. All right, here we go. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the saddleback caterpillar. 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, look, he like leaned into it. Oh! Oh my gosh, that is really, really painful very, very quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna get the full dose. Oh! Oh, wow, that is instantaneous. Oh, hi, Chihuahua. Holy cow, wow, my arm is on fire. You guys remember Caterpillar Sunday? This is Caterpillar Tuesday, and it is really bad. Wow, that is a lot more painful than the giant silkmoth caterpillar. Holy cow, like instantaneous electrical searing is what it feels like. Feels like an electrical shock going into my arm over and over and over again.
I already see the marks.
And dare I say it, it's actually starting to get worse. It is getting, whoa. Wow. Wasps mixed with electricity over and over and over again. You can see all the blotchiness that's already beginning to form on my forearm. Holy cow, now I can imagine. Let me come back to that thought. Oh! Ugh. It's so bad. It's the thing is, it just keeps on going. Hold on, let me get my little buddy here secure. Crawl onto this leaf and I'll get you your thing. Man, it was so instantaneous. Sometimes with stings that I've experienced in the past, you have the insertion of the stinger, you have the venom start to take effect, and it happens quickly. Don't get me wrong, it happens quickly. But this was like the second it brushed against my skin, those little tiny hypodermic needle type tips break off and immediately the venom is into your arm. Wow, for such a tiny little insect, that thing packs a wallop. Okay, one more run. Oh! My arm is all welted up. Oh yeah, you could definitely see that. Honestly, like every time I do one of these stings, like I never know what to prepare for. I feel like I am getting a little, wow, just, when your arm hurts this much, it's so hard to stay focused on what you're saying. I'm getting a little bit better at managing the pain from these things. This is so bad. I'm not managing the pain right now. I don't even know what I'm saying at the moment. This is welty McSwelty over here. Dang. Okay, I'm gonna give this 5 minutes and then we'll show you guys a really cool remedy. So, I mean, it's really cool. Christina told me about it. I think I gotta call Christina and tell her what's up.
Caterpillars, like both the giant Cecropia and the saddleback, are an important stage in the life cycle of moths and butterflies. It's second grade science, but for anyone that was snoozing in class, metamorphosis breaks down into 4 stages, beginning as eggs laid by a moth or a butterfly. Eggs hatch into the larva or caterpillar form, where the dual mission is to avoid predation and eat non-stop until fully grown. Stage 3 is called pupation, where a caterpillar forms and is encapsulated in a chrysalis, where over several weeks or months, it transitions through a glorious metamorphosis. When finally, the time is right and stage 4 is activated, and a beautiful winged butterfly or moth hatches out, whose only job is to reproduce and start the cycle over.
Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes since I took on the wrath of the saddleback caterpillar sting, and I think I owe it to Christina to call her and let her know exactly what it is that I'm going through.
What's happening, brother?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good. What's wrong?
My arm.
Oh.
It's bad. Yeah. I took a full-on bristling. It is incredibly intense. It's like electrical insect stings shooting up and down my arm.
Yeah, I felt that same way. It was immediate pain.
I know you're tough, and I know when you told me that it was no joke, it's no joke. You want to say hi to everybody out there? Now you're in the camera, on camera. So what was your remedy for alleviating the excruciating pain that I'm going through right now?
My remedy was my lunch, which was a whole bunch of cut up pineapple, believe it or not.
Check it out. All right, so I got a pineapple and a machete. We're gonna cut this thing open and find out whether or not pineapple juice is the remedy for saddleback caterpillar stings. Fingers crossed. All right, well, thanks for joining in on the episode and the call. Wish me luck because I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Good luck, my wild brother.
Say bye to the Coyote Pack.
Bye, you guys.
Okay, so there you have it. Supposedly, a pineapple is the absolute best remedy. There is an enzyme in the juices of pineapple that will help to alleviate the unsightly, I mean, my arm, it looks disgusting with welts, and it is still burning like crazy. So we're gonna cut open this pineapple and we're gonna find out whether or not this is gonna bring relief, because I need relief at this point. Pineapple Caterpillar Tuesday time, here we go. Oh, it's cool. Don't know that it's necessarily doing anything to relieve it other than just being a little bit cold. Oh, I feel like it's just pushing down on those welts. Maybe a little bit of relief. The cooling sensation is definitely super nice.
Here's the thing, dude. How many people are carrying a pineapple in their bags when they're out hiking?
That's a great question, Mario. How many people are carrying around a pineapple? Probably not that many, but the fact that Christina said it worked for her is a good sign, which means if you get stung by one of these caterpillars in your backyard, you run inside, there's a good chance you may at least have canned pineapple in the cupboard. Holy mackerel. Look at how much the welts have gone down from putting the pineapple on it. At first, I didn't feel like it was doing anything, but the longer that pineapple juice sits on my arm, the more it's alleviating that pain. I'm not even kidding. Holy cow, that was amazing. Wow. I don't know if it's psychological, if this is a placebo effect, but I am not even kidding. The pain is almost completely gone now that I have put the pineapple juice, and those enzymes have essentially broken down aspects of the venom in my skin, and it feels quite a bit better. Truth be told, I'm gonna get up and walk around. Holy cow, that was amazing. Well, it has been one heck of a painful Caterpillar Tuesday. What we ultimately learned is that the juices, or rather the enzymes in the juices of a pineapple, can provide quite a bit of relief for the excruciating pain of the saddleback caterpillar sting. Now, when it comes to the potency of those bristles, we know that this ranks as the #2 most painful caterpillar sting on the index here in the United States. #1, supposedly, is the puss caterpillar. That's still to come, but first, I gotta get stung by the other 8. And when it comes to size and whether or not that matters, we know that the giant Cecropia moth caterpillar is intimidating, but its bark is far louder than its bite. So this caterpillar season, when you're out there moving about, make sure to keep your eyes peeled for these highly toxic insects. And whatever you do, if you encounter one, admire it from a safe distance. And big thanks to Christina Wilson for the tip about pineapples.
Honestly, I find it quite ironic that cute little caterpillars can pack such a painful punch. And believe it or not, nearly as many people are spined by caterpillars every year as are stung by wasps, hornets, and bees. In the US, the saddleback is considered the second most painful caterpillar sting, and given my agony pre-pineapple, I'd definitely rank it as a 4. So what's next? Well, in the Western world, I've got 8 other targets to embrace before getting to the final boss, aka the giant puss caterpillar. You know the one. We featured it on Brave Wilderness in 2016 and defined it as the mustache of terror. In addition to that, and in no particular order, I'll battle the Io, the hickory tussock, the slug monkey, the buck, spotted tiger, spiny oak, white flannel, and finally, the stinging rose. Yes, those are all caterpillars and not 80s metal hairbands, so stay tuned, Coyote Pack. My climb up the Caterpillar Sting Pain Index has just begun.
Hi, I'm Coyote Peterson, and today I'm going to be bitten by one of the world's most venomous centipede species. Now, there are 4 good reasons as to why I'm going to perform this extreme experiment. First is to measure how my body will react to this bite using medical equipment. Second is to determine if this bite will rank as my most painful experience to date. Third is to show you what a doctor would do to treat this type of bite. And last, but certainly not least, is to raise awareness and financial support for Save the Horns, our black rhino conservation initiative. Now, before we get into pain for conservation gain, first I want to introduce today's special guest, Dr. Jordan Wagner. He's a certified trained physician, but to his millions of followers, he's known as Dr. ER. What's up, Doc?
Hey, what's happening, Coyote?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Ready for a centipede bite.
I hope you're ready. I'm getting ready for making sure that you don't have an emergency that we need to handle.
In order to fully understand what my body will be going through during the bite and its immediate after effect, Dr. Jordan first needs to create what's called a baseline, which includes my resting heart rate, blood pressure, and temperature. My numbers were a bit on the high side, but the doc noted that to be normal given the mental wherewithal of the bite I'm about to take. With my biometrics recorded, the next step is to fit me with 11 sticky electrodes, which will be attached to the LifePak 12, a device that will provide a visual representation for my baseline stats and how they fluctuate during my interaction with the centipede. Now feeling like a bionic man, it's time to introduce the good doctor to the world's largest centipede species.
Here we go. That is the giant jungle centipede.
That is big. That is huge. But is that the head? What am I looking at?
Well, that's a great question. So this centipede species, and almost all centipede species, have something called defensive mimicry. The back end looks like the front end, or is it the back end looks like the front end?
Wow, okay. So it's a mechanism to trick its prey. Predators, yes.
Predators, right. So if I was a coyote that was looking for a meal and I came in to bite this side thinking I was getting the head, because crushing the head or getting the neck is what's going to kill a potential prey item. Yes. Unfortunately, you've bitten its butt, and then it has the opportunity to swing around and bite you with those forciples, which are what the biting mechanism on a centipede is called. Now those are, look at that, it's turning up in the air though, there. Those forciples are modified appendages. So over time, and these creatures have been evolving for millions of years, over time, they evolved to have these appendages that have turned into a biting mechanism. Ooh, it's a little close to my finger there. So what we're gonna attempt to do now is free handle this centipede. Now, as I was starting to say, the venom from the species is very similar to the giant desert centipede, which I have been bitten by before.
I gotta actually pin down its head to do this.
Oh, jeez, look how fast
see how fast it is? There's the commitment. Look at those fangs. My goodness. Okay, here we go.
cameras, got the cameras.
So I made the choice to not be bitten by this species. Instead, we're going to be bitten by a species that is much more potent, an old world centipede. But this one specifically, we consider a centipede ambassador.
Okay.
Do you notice how calm it is? This is not something you could normally do with a centipede. It is chill, it is relaxed, and at the moment, it is just enjoying crawling on my arm. Look how sluggish it is. Just curiously looking around, looking for its next spot to walk. Now, I gotta ask you this question, and I would only ask you this if I felt comfortable. Do you think you would be able to free handle this centipede? I know you didn't expect this coming in here today, but I am confident that your odds of being bitten are like only 1 out of 5.
Got it.
Which is not bad.
1 out of 5, that's like 20%.
I mean, maybe it's like 2 out of 4. You know,
the
like
numbers go in the wrong direction.
I think you're gonna be okay. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I figured that would make this episode so much better.
I mean, if you can let it crawl on me, sure.
Just trust me. So put your arm straight out.
Okay.
Let me ask cameras. Camera looking okay there?
Oh my God.
All right, so this is Dr. ER about to free handle the world's largest centipede species. Let me get her to walk. Oh, she likes me.
She likes you better than me.
We're gonna try this just like this. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, she doesn't want to come off of my hand.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe she just senses your nerves.
Maybe.
There we go, there we go, there we go. Just stay still, there you go. Turn your arm a little bit. Don't worry, I'll get her if she moves or decides to drop. Whatever you do, don't move. They can definitely sense fear.
Okay.
And if it goes up your sleeve, just let it happen because it'll be super entertaining.
I'm just
She's going right towards your face.
Okay, you can do whatever you need to do.
Look at the way that the bodies move. Now, centipedes have segmented bodies and they're armed with this exoskeleton.
Don't you
The
let it get to my
exoskeleton.
neck.
No, Jordan, what's so cool about this is that the exoskeleton is almost indestructible.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
it's going up the side of your head. This
Yeah,
could not
bro.
be any better.
Okay, great.
I'm going to bring her back.
Yeah, you can take
up
control.
on top of your
Get
head.
out of here.
No, I'll bring her this way.
Oh my gosh. I got my watch on to see what my heart rate's doing.
Do you think your heart rate went up there?
I don't know. We're gonna see.
So for context, had this centipede decided to bite you, which I was confident that it wouldn't,
Correct.
you would be in a world of pain. And that venom is very similar to the venom of the giant desert centipede.
Got it.
Centipede venom is not well researched.
Okay, yes.
You know,
we do know this.
I apologize. I'm going right back into my centipede facts. Let me let you breathe for a second. You doing okay?
I'm all right. I'm okay.
See, what you guys didn't realize is that he had no idea that this was going to be happening. That was fantastic. Most people would have been like, there's no way.
Yeah.
You could have walked right off of this set and back to California, and I would have just been left here by myself, and then who would save me if the other centipede bite goes bad?
That is true. You know, it wasn't so bad. It was getting used to the legs moving and that unique intensity, but it was light. I just started going to my neck. I was worried about my jugular.
Yeah, that's not the spot you'd want to get bitten. But what I was starting to say about the venom specifically is that not a lot is known about centipede venom. But we do know that there are 2 specific properties that are incredibly bad.
Yes.
And what aspects are those?
So we have a neurotoxin and a cardio/myotoxin. The neurotoxin basically interferes with the ion channels, leading to the inflammation on your nerves, so you can experience horrible pain. Paralysis, you can get numbness. Okay, that is the neurotoxin working. On top of that, you have this cardio-myotype toxin that will increase your heart rate, which could cause cardiac arrhythmias, meaning your heart starts going high beats, abnormal beats coming from the wrong areas of the heart, and that's when we might need to shock somebody out of an abnormal rhythm, and that's why we have this machine.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna hand this big, beautiful creeper back off over here to Mario, off camera. Pretty successful.
Yeah.
We managed to handle the world's largest centipede species, crawled up your neck, and nobody was bitten. But that's not why you guys showed up. You showed up, you clicked on that thumbnail because you want to see me bitten by a very creepy looking creature. And that's where we are headed next. So let's go ahead and bring in the container here. Now, I want to explain to everybody that the next few minutes that you are going to see here may be pretty intense. Mario, go ahead and let's hand this guy in here.
Oh, it doesn't look so bad.
This is, trust me, it's gonna be bad. Let me turn it like this for the cameras. So this is the giant Asian cherry centipede. Now this is what would be considered an old world species. So because it's old world, the venom component is quite a bit different than the venom from New World. Now, I have been told that without question, this bite is going to put me in the most painful situation I have ever been in.
Okay.
Top 3 most painful are putting my hand into a box with 200 yellow jackets, the bite from a giant desert centipede, and the gimpy leaf.
Wow.
So this may take the new top tier level of pain when it comes to Coyote Peterson and discomfort. We're gonna get it out of the clear plastic capsule. It's going to go into this container. You should be good. We are not gonna let this one walk on your neck. And I'm going to gently get it under control. I was just looking over here at the monitor to see if there's much change in my heart rate. And a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, centipede is coming out of the container. All right, now to do this, I'm gonna place it in like this. Gently take off the bottom.
That's a nice way. Okay.
There it is. Please, please, please don't be able to climb out of there. We did not test this earlier, just so you guys know. Okay.
Look at the activity.
And you can see how it's using its antenna and all these little sensory organs up front to figure out where am I going. And one thing that I notice about centipedes is that they're rather intelligent. They're always investigating their environment, and they notice light, they notice shadows, they notice movement. You can tell that my speech pattern is beginning to change because I'm getting a little bit nervous. Look at my heart rate. It is definitely going up. Like this is the moment of no turning back. Don't you climb out of here. This centipede gets out of here during the making of this episode, it's gone, it's gonna be running. So, all right, here's what I need to do. I need to very gently, I'm gonna kind of have to stand up a little bit. What I need to do is gently pin the centipede's head down so that I can get it right behind its head. And then the forcipules are where the bite is going to come from. So once I get the centipede under control, then we'll be in good shape. So I'm not gonna talk for a minute. I'm gonna just try to get this done without talking so that we can have the animal under control, and then we are getting into things. You see how fast it is? Wow. In case anybody's wondering, is this possibly hurting the myriapod? It's not. Their exoskeletons are like armor plating. So it's really about getting it pinned with this hand, and then I need to be able to pick it up with this one. So that's where this just gets a little bit difficult. Wow. Where's my heart rate?
Wow, you're actually doing really good. You're 126. You've actually calmed down.
That is probably the most difficult part about this entire situation. So keep that there because we may need to pull the top off of that. I probably squished it down. Okay, there we go. Just in case we need to get the centipede contained. Okay, so I want to hold it. Wow, they are so incredibly strong. So if I turn it like this and hold really still, Mario can zoom in on those forcipules, and that is what is going to inflict the bite. Venom filled, this is gonna be bad. So because I don't wanna hold the centipede in this position for too long, we're gonna get right into it. Okay. Heart rate rising.
Yep.
So forearm's gonna be here.
Yep.
Now Doc, I don't wanna get bit in an area with a vein,
Right,
correct?
we do not want direct inoculation into your veins. So
Yeah.
there are 2 areas right in the middle, above and below that main vein.
Give me a target spot.
So we have this spot right here or right here.
Guys, please hit that donate button. This is for all of those rhinos out there. Heart rate rising, every single dollar counts. I am literally willing to push it this far to bring awareness for rhino conservation. If we do not protect these animals, they are going to go effectively extinct in the next decade. This is completely worth it. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the giant Asian centipede. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. He's got me with one thing. No, he's got both. Okay, you got that shot? I don't think I can let him stand much longer than that. How we doing on that shot? We good, 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 good? Oh, okay, let me there.
Yep, oh, look at that, okay. got that bite. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Tell me what you're feeling.
Immediate searing pain. Oh my gosh, that is instantaneous. Ah.
Sharp stabbing, pressure, burn. Tell everybody what you feel.
Okay, so, oh wow, hold on one second. Okay, so yes, the pain is bad. It is getting worse, but I'm feeling an incredible numbness in my arm right now.
Right, so.
It is pain, but it almost feels like a state of paralysis.
Right, which is that neurotoxin starting to take effect. And you can already see the redness around the area.
Yeah.
And some swelling.
Oh, holy mackerel, wow, wow.
So it's a paralysis, but pain.
Hold on, just give me a second, give me a second.
So we always ask patients when they come to the emergency department, on a pain scale 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being not so bad. You have your own, pain scale because you're an individual that understands his own pain. Where does that rank for you right now, knowing that it may get worse or it might get better?
This is, I would call it a 5 out of 10 at the moment. But here's the thing, we are hot, what are we, a minute and a half in.
Right.
A minute and a half in, and one of the things that I learned with the giant desert centipede, sorry guys, wow, holy cow, I'm like super lightheaded.
Yeah, that seems like a bigger response and wheel than you had on your first one, in the sense of I already see some black and blues, and I see some blood there. We're letting it be, because this is what
look at my arm is twitching.
We're doing for science, exactly. You got muscle spasms.
Dude, I am not doing that. That is my arm is spazzing out right now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I have seen, and let me know if I start getting flushed. Like I feel like I'm talking in tunnel vision right now.
You're doing all right.
Is when they attack rodents like mice, they need to subdue something very, very, very quickly.
Yep.
And I've seen mice like, look at my arm, it's convulsing.
Yeah, you can even see the back here is convulsing as well. So that is just all the ion channels are just getting kind of played with by this neurotoxin.
Holy mackerel. Oh yeah, okay, we're at about a 6. We're at about a 6 with the pain. On it, man, it's tough to tell where this is going, and that's where I'm like, I don't want to get too confident to be like, this isn't as bad as the giant desert centipede. I don't think initially it is, but it's hard to tell because it's only been a few seconds, and my arm is like doing something crazy weird right now.
Right, and not all the toxins have probably actually started to take effect yet.
Oh, look at the welt that's forming.
Oh yeah, there's a good welt around there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we worry also about anaphylaxis, and that's why I have the EpiPen here.
How long before we know if like something really bad is happening to my body?
It could happen right now, or it could be delayed.
Okay, so
that's pretty wild. His muscles. And we're also looking at like.
Can somebody give me a drink real quick?
Yeah. It's getting dry mouth, which is normal in this experience. Could be related to heart rate, blood pressure, as well as his sympathetic nervous system going to overdrive.
Thank you.
So if, as Coyote's drinking and focusing, if this were to actually happen to somebody outside, and like, what do? You want to clean the wound, get to an area of safety, get to the hospital, and then what could I do as an ER doctor treatment-wise for you, which we're holding off at the moment in the name of science until you tell me otherwise.
Yeah, my goal is to ride this out as long as possible. And right now I'm doing okay. Do we want the centipede off the table? Okay, go ahead, you can take it.
I mean, that's getting close to me, so I'm happy to let that go. And so, besides pain management, okay, anti-inflammatories, strong pain medicine, IV fluids, we're gonna put you on a cardiac monitor, which we have here, to monitor your blood pressure, your heart rate, and to see how you're doing.
All right, so the next thing that we wanted to do, you want to take my blood pressure?
Yeah, let's see how you do.
Okay.
Why not?
Oh man, my calf muscles are feeling awkward too. Like is that just like my body's
your body's
reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No big, like, don't feel anything in your throat, no tongue swelling. Those are the big things we worry about for anaphylaxis, right? And then the other things we worry about from a neurotoxin also is your nausea, your vomiting, no diarrhea, thank goodness.
Dude, this is, wow, I gotta say one of the strangest things that I've experienced is my calf muscles are cramping up. Like I've been playing basketball for hours. Like I'm feel like locked in place right now.
Yeah, those are your muscles spasming, multiple different reasons.
Holy cow, like dude, it is definitely getting worse. It is unquestionably getting worse.
You could see his agitation and the fact that he wants to get up and move around like he would normally do. but he's doing his best to sit in the chair.
Let's do this real quick, because I just touched my arm. Poke around down here, like, feel how taut that is getting?
Yeah, so this is what we call induration. It's a medical term basically saying, sorry.
God, your cold fingertips, Doc, well, that hurts.
Sorry,
The cold hurts.
I apologize.
Wow, do it again though, do it again, the lemon. Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, your arm's nice and warm and my hands are
cold definitely affects it, wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, I feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning or not sleep at all tonight, and this is all going to have felt like a complete hallucination. Between the lights and everything that I am so out of it right now. Like, I don't even know what I'm going through.
Right, so his pupils are a little bit dilated. That's just related to the sympathetic overdrive of your system, your fight or flight response, which is normal.
So while centipede venom is not well known, centipede venom is very unlikely to kill you unless your body has a negative allergic reaction.
Right.
And all of a sudden, as I said that, it felt like a volume cranker just went up one more notch.
Yeah.
And that's what I've experienced with a number of different venoms, is like, there's the initial hit, and then there are these waves that start to build. And with centipede venom specifically, that neurotoxic element, that's what begins to wear you down mentally. Man, look at the ooze that's coming out of my arm.
Yeah, so you're getting different inflammatory markers that are just going in, your cytokines are popping, your interleukins, and everything's just like trying to help and attack it.
Yeah.
But you're also having a localized histamine reaction that's making you swell up more.
And that is my body essentially sending its defenders to the site of the venom to say, uh-oh, foreign invader, stop them where they are.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we learned a lot.
Yep.
A whole lot. When it comes to centipedes, why this is an animal you want to admire from a safe distance. And in answering the questions that we set up earlier, what we ultimately learned is that we can hook my body up to a machine to see how it reacts. We can take a look at what happens when a venomous bite happens and how you would treat it. And when it comes to ranking it as being the most painful experience I've ever been through, if I'm completely honest, we're not there yet, but I have many hours to still go. However, I will say that as an individual bite, this is one of the most extreme things I have ever done. And in this situation, where we got to film it together, for that, I feel incredibly
really
lucky.
great. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry you're going through all this pain.
Well, all part of entertainment and raising awareness for conservation and our planet species. But Dr. Jordan, thank you so much for being here tonight with us. Guys, check out the comment section and about section below. Remember, you can continue donating to Save the Horns. Just click on that donate button or go to SaveTheHorns.com. Remember, all of the new Brave Wilderness merch at ShopBraveWilderness.com. Those proceeds also go towards the rhinos. And check out Dr. ER's YouTube page. Endless hours of entertaining reactions.
I hope so. And you get to learn a little too.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it's all about.
That's right.
Entertainment and education. Woo! We did it.
Post-bite, once the venom had really set in, Dr. Jordan applied an anti-inflammatory shot and a healthy dose of lidocaine to alleviate swelling and pain, which worked temporarily for about 2 hours until the pain returned in full force. For nearly 30 hours, I battled a state of discomfort that included waves of intense pain, a sleepless night, and a renewed sense of respect for the potency of centipede venom. Completing this challenge was a mountain that had to be climbed, and from its summit, I see a bright future for critically endangered black rhinos. Please consider donating to Save the Horns. Your support is literally keeping the 25 rhinos we're sponsoring protected against the wrath of merciless poachers. Together, we can change the future for these vanishing giants.
About a year ago, the team and I filmed an episode comparing the frilled dragon to the Pokemon character known as Heliolisk, and in the process became completely obsessed with collecting Pokemon cards. True story. Now, since my mission to catch them all began, I also became friends with the one and only Professor Oak, who recently delivered this message.
Now, I have a special mission for you if you are willing to accept it. I need you to form an elite team of skilled poker catchers to find and document the living evolutions of the Tyranitar. Now, I'll expect a full report back when the task is complete.
When Professor Oak calls, Coyote Peterson answers the challenge, and I know just the location to visit.
When it comes to finding the real-life evolutions of Tyranitar, there's no better location than the Florida Keys. To assist me on this mission, I've employed two of the best Poke catchers I know, Mario Aldecoa and Christina Wilson. In my opinion, Tyranitar really looks like a green iguana mixed with a T-Rex. So with that in mind, it's time to find our targets.
All right, Christina, we're here to capture some iterations of the Pokemon, a hatchling green iguana, which represents the
Larvitar,
and a juvenile, which represents the Pupitar. Now, we're out here at night, which is a little unusual because green iguanas are usually found during the day, active and running around. However, at night, they are sleeping, which makes it very easy for us to sneak up on them and gently catch them from bushes and trees. Christina?
Yeah? You see something? I see it.
So there you go. You found it. Now you've got to gently get this little Larvitar down.
Don't lose the Larvitar, Christina. Eyes are closed. Hi there, little guy. Oh, you are a little fighter. Whoa, look at that tail whipping. Oh, you trying to bite me? They're so velvety smooth compared to adults. Like the texture of the skin is like a lot softer.
So this is a hatchling green iguana, which represents the
Larvitar.
Larvitar, right?
Yeah.
And just like the different Pokemon evolutions, they each have their different powers, right? Or unique characteristics. So what would be one of the powers of a hatchling green iguana?
I would say this long tail for whipping, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Speedy too, right? Because they're tiny, so they gotta evade predators, so they gotta be fast. And of course, that beautiful green camouflage.
So pretty.
All right, let's give it a little boop.
At the moment, we are on the hunt for a juvenile iguana, which would be the Pupitar. So that's what we're looking for right now. And they tend to hide and sleep a little higher in the trees. So we've come over here to these larger trees right here to see if they are resting and sleeping up here.
Oh, Christina?
Yeah.
Juvenile.
Where? Oh!
Very difficult to see, but
Yeah.
it's in there.
Wow.
So the iguana is definitely a lot higher than we can reach, so we're gonna use our snare. We're gonna try to nudge it gently.
Okay.
And it's gonna be like, what's happening? And its instincts is gonna be like, boop, we're gonna fall from the tree. And we're gonna do this as gently as possible. I'm gonna try and catch it in midair.
Oh my God. Wow. Man, you're quick.
So basically, we poked an iguana out of a tree.
Yes. Wow.
Sorry, buddy.
You were fast.
He was sleeping and we disturbed you. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
But this is a perfect example of a juvenile green iguana. What are some characteristics you can notice on this juvenile iguana?
It's got this really impressive ridgeline right here. These color patterns are much more pronounced.
Right.
And he's really robust compared to the Larvitar.
Yeah, this iguana is nice and healthy. So this is definitely the next step to evolution. But there is another evolution that we're gonna try and catch, and that is the Tyranitar.
Ooh.
With 2 of our 3 evolutions successfully documented, it was going to take something special to land a living Tyranitar. Whispers around the Keys speak of a mysterious island where dragon-sized iguanas are rumored to live.
And we are officially off. Time to find a remote island and some giant lizards.
Two hours later.
Okay, well now that we are on island, the exploration begins. And this time of day, iguanas will be perched out on the branches of different trees, soaking up sun. So with any luck, we'll be able to spot one. As long as it's Tyranitar sized, we're gonna be in good shape.
There, right there.
Oh God, get this. Look at that.
Huge iguana. Go that way.
Don't chase him, don't spook him.
Far out.
He's over here. Hurry.
Didn't even need to use the snare. Holy cow, that is a Tyranitar. Look at the size of that beast. Holy mackerel, that thing is a VMAX for sure. That's without question the biggest iguana I've ever caught. Okay, I gotta be really careful because even though these creatures are vegetarians, you definitely have to watch out for that bite. Oh my goodness, we have got our Tyranitar. Holy mackerel, when you're talking about a Tyranitar-sized iguana, I don't know that you could top this specimen. It's gotta be close to 6 feet in length. And look at the giant spines that run down the ridge in the center of the back. And you can see how healthy this reptile is. Look at the bulge in the side of its belly. This is a well-fed iguana. Now, it's important to note that this is technically an invasive species here in the Florida Keys. But when you're talking about a remote island like this, that animal right there is the king of the environment. The only thing that it is competing with are different shorebirds that we'd be flying in and temporarily using this island. So feasting on any of the small crabs, fruits, nuts, whatever this lizard can get its mouth on. For the most part, they are vegetarian, but they will occasionally go omnivore if they need to. Look at the big spikes up on top of the nose. And you can see why we picked this species specifically to be representative of Pokemon's Tyranitar. And when we caught this lizard, it was swimming, using this tail like a rudder to propel itself forward. And it will also double as a weapon. If there is a potential predator that comes into the environment, this lizard can swing its body around when it's on land and use that tail like a bullwhip. Trust me, with the bone and the scales that are on the end of this, you catch that to the face, you're gonna think twice about trying to turn this iguana into a meal. Woo! Got another big iguana right here. Just came up and out of the water. I'm gonna let you get into position, Christina. It's gonna come up and into the water. Wow, look at him holding his ground.
Oh, these mangrove prop roots are messing me up. Where are you gonna go, bud? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
I got his tail, you gotta get his head. Oh, careful, don't get bitten. Jeez. You okay? You okay?
Hold on.
I got his legs.
You got his legs?
Yeah. Got him. He's gonna fight with that tail. Be careful. Woo! Iguana number 2. You good?
Oh, he's trying to hit me with the tail.
Wow! Double Tyranitar!
That is a big iguana. And he put up a real fight. And that's why he's this big, is because he's a fighter. Look at the tail, man. He's still whipping it. Look at that thing.
Jeez.
Man.
That was crazy. Oh, you almost took a bite. Oh, your arm is bleeding.
Is it?
We got blood.
Dude, he opened his mouth wide. I almost thought my hand was going in his mouth there.
Holy cow. Well, let's go bring it next to the other one. Well, talk about a chaotic moment. This second iguana, which is actually very Tyranitar colored with the green and black, came out of nowhere. Christina and I tag teamed that catch. I was just able to get the backside of the lizard. You had to come in, man. Your arm's bleeding. You can see just how powerful those claws are.
Oh my gosh.
You took a hit, but wow, how about that? Double dragon action. So how nerve-wracking was that for you to grab a lizard that big? I mean, your arm is still shaking.
You know, I've lived out here for 8 years and I've never grabbed one this big. So it was just adrenaline rush the whole time. And when I saw this sucker open his mouth all the way, that was scary. I really did think I was gonna lose a few fingers there, so.
Those teeth will definitely open you up. Look at them side by side. Now, I would say yours is probably a little bit younger than mine, and you can tell that he's got a lot of fight in him.
He's still got a lot of fight in him.
He's trying to whip you with that tail.
Yeah, he's holding his muscles right now. He's just ready to leap.
Ha ha! Double dragons! Boom, tail high fives. Woo! That was amazing.
In the end, my team of fearless poke catchers and I accomplished the mission. We caught them all, each of the living Tyranitar evolutions, from the adorable Larvitar to the juvenile Pupitar, and for the win, a pair of ginormous Tyranitars. Today we're at the Australian Reptile Park, and all 3 of us are going to have a unique animal experience. Mario, what are you getting into?
I'm going to be hanging out with some Komodo dragons.
Nice. How about you, Trent?
I'm going to be milking Australia's deadliest spider.
And I'm going to be feeding its crankiest crocodile. Let's split up and get to work.
I'm on my way right now to meet up with Sam. He is the Sydney funnel web milking expert. Little nervous because this spider, the last time we were here, I was filming it. Now I am going to be milking it. So let's get over there and get into the action. Sam, what's up?
Hey.
Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, mate.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm excited because this is it, Australia's deadliest spider.
Yep, the Sydney funnel web spider right here in front of us. And this is a male right here as well.
Okay, how do you distinguish between a male and a female?
So the males have these almost like these pincers, or if you will, on the front legs that allow them to pin down prey and females during breeding as well. And they're much smaller in size, smaller abdomen as well.
That is a massive spider. Before we get started, one question I did have was, how many milkings do you have to do in order to produce like 1 vial of antivenom?
Normally it takes weeks of milking before we can have enough venom to produce a vial of antivenom, and it can take 18 months to produce 1 vial.
That is incredible. I mean, most people would never even realize the volume of spiders that have to be milked.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 hours a day of milking.
Wow, a lot of work. A lot of work behind what you guys do.
A lot of work. Do you want me to give you a demonstration?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Easy.
And then I'll go from there.
So you'll see that all we need to do is very gently let the spider know that we're there. They rear up, and then you can see the venom on the end of the fangs just there. And then all we do is very gently massage the fangs, and essentially we collect the venom just like that. So you can see the size of those fangs, and then if you have a look here, you can see all that venom.
So that's venom all the way up in
Yep, that's collected up in here, and essentially we'll do at least 4 or 5 spiders before we actually change the pipette itself. Do you want to have a go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we might swap spiders.
Okay.
Because they tend to stop producing venom at this point.
Well, while you're swapping the spider, let's check in on Coyote and Mario and see how their day is going.
I think I see a Komodo dragon. And you must be Jake.
I am, mate.
Nice to meet you.
You too. You too. This is Kraken.
Oh my gosh.
He's our male Komodo here at the reptile park.
He's beautiful.
He's incredible. He's 11 years old, maybe 7 foot long, and he maybe weighs about 50 kilos. And he could potentially put on another 20 kilos in weight, so he's by no means fully grown.
They are the largest lizards in the world, right? Largest monitor lizards. Can I touch them?
Yes, please. Have a pat. They have osteoderms, very similar skin to a crocodilian. And as you can see, he's got a little bit of skin just starting to flake away. They don't shed their skin like a snake. Of course, we know snakes shed in one nice, lovely big piece, whereas these kind of flake off pretty much throughout the year. They've always got a little bit of skin coming off, and you can see how beautiful and vibrant that skin is underneath the
It
old
means
skin.
he's a growing boy.
He is.
Now, I think the audience wants to know, why do you have him on a leash?
Yeah, so the reason we get Kraken out of his exhibit and out here walking around on a leash every day has got to do with enrichment, keeping his mind and his body really stimulated and fit and healthy. And of course, it's just exciting for him getting to come out here and smell all kinds of different things, meet new people every single day.
I love that. I love that word, enrichment.
Yes.
So I heard that something very special happened here at the park, I think last year?
Yes, we hatched some juvenile Komodos, and this is the dad right here. Very exciting for us, and it's actually the first time that Komodo dragons have ever been bred in Australia, so a really
cool.
landmark event for us.
So, do you mind if I maybe walk him?
Oh, go for it, please.
Okay.
Doing my job for me.
All right, and there you go, cracking the Komodo dragon. Actually, is there technique to this? Is there?
You just follow him.
He's the boss.
He'll go where he wants to. I'll leave you alone for 10 minutes and you've fallen asleep on the job.
I'm sorry, but Kraken was just chilling here.
We got these juveniles to see, so
Okay.
let's get him back.
But what do you do if he doesn't want to walk?
Oh, I'll pick him up.
Oh, you didn't tell
Come
me
on,
that.
Kraken. Come on,
Look at that, he's got VIP treatment.
Oh, he's heavy.
So that's how you walk.
Let's get him back.
I am going to be working alongside Billy and his team. They are reptile experts, and I'm going to be getting into an enclosure with Elvis. the 18-foot, and as I am told, cranky crocodile that lives here on the grounds. Not only will we be feeding this prehistoric-looking giant, but I will also be challenging it to a tug-of-war. I don't think we really have to try hard to figure out who's gonna win this battle, but it's going to be one wild experience. How's it going, Billy?
How you going, man?
I'm going, and I'm getting a little nervous because I'm about to enter into this enclosure with the crankiest crocodile in Australia. Why is Elvis so cranky?
Well, he's massive. He's almost 5 meters and half a ton in weight, and he's a saltwater crocodile, so they're just programmed to be berserko.
All right, Billy, well, I think I'm ready to play tug of war with a saltwater crocodile. Let's meet up with the rest of your team and get this thing going.
Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna lure him, bring him back, feed him. You're gonna jump in, do your thing with the cameras.
Okay.
Not get eaten.
I will try to not be eaten. That is priority number one. Elvis is on a very strategic routine. He knows exactly what's about to happen. Freebies, as we call them in the industry. Free pieces of meat. Oh man, here he goes. He's huge. This is like Lake Placid. Oh, he is so big.
He's looking at my legs, not the food.
Yeah. Super intense. Okay, yeah, okay. It's a very big crocodile.
Don't do it.
It's like a gun going off when it snapped its jaws like that.
Yeah. Hey. You ready to jump in with your cameras? Go, Tom. Watch, he's coming right here. All right, you've got about 6 seconds.
Okay, we're good.
All right. Yeah. Alrighty.
Here he comes.
He's gonna come in pretty hot. Yep, let him go. Let him go. Reverse with him. Give a little bit of pressure.
Oh my gosh. That's a tiny little head jerk. That power is crazy.
Let him drop back a little bit. Yeah, pull. Pull.
Oh man.
All right, go. Bail.
That was awesome. I mean, just the slightest turn of his head is an extreme power. That was like 60 seconds. Felt like a lifetime. That was amazing. All right, so what's he doing now? Just gonna sit there and digest a little bit?
He'll just swallow that big piece is probably sitting high at the moment. He'll be slowly working it down into his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just give him a couple of minutes, and then I wouldn't mind giving him a bit of jumping today. So
yeah,
that food I've got for you, we'll go around the other side here and we'll jump him to try and get him doing a bit of exercise for us.
Great.
We're back with the spider that I'm going to milk. Now, one thing that Coyote got to do when he was here was he let it run around in his crowd. Is that something I could do instead of having it in the container?
Yeah. We'll just very gently pop him inside the thing here, and then now you can get a good look of one of the world's most dangerous spiders.
And these things are just running around like here in Sydney and
yeah, they're in the greater Sydney area mainly. Yeah. So it's pretty full on. They live under rocks and logs and things like that. And most of these spiders in this room are actually from people that donate them here to the park. All right, so I'm going to pass you the hose and just hold it at the base of the hose there. Okay. And then we might just draw the spider back this way. There you go. And then just slowly massage the fangs. That's it. He tends to jump a little bit. This allows them, there you go, that's a full-blown strike. And some spiders produce lots of venom, and then some will only produce very, very small amounts, if any.
Yeah.
It just depends on the spider, which is why we keep so many here in the venom room.
Ah, that was a good one. Good bit of venom.
Yeah, beautiful. Straight up into the vial.
It's kind of intimidating a little bit because he'll jump out at you, and if you're slowly massaging the fang and kind of having a methodical experience, then it's like boom, it just gets you, throws you off guard. Yeah,
they're quick.
I'm gonna give him a couple more massages and see if I can get any more venom. I mean, that pose, that's pretty dope pose. Yeah.
That's that typical defensive posture that they will show off, and they'll create 2 little bubbles on their fangs, and normally that's just a big sign, you know, leave me alone or I'm going to envenomate you.
What do you think?
That's awesome, mate. So that venom that you just collected will eventually be processed and then help save someone's life that's unfortunately bitten by one of these spiders.
Cool. Well, I'll hand this back to you.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate.
That was pretty fun to experience this up close with you. Was an awesome thing to do. And I thank you guys very much for this experience today. I'm gonna go catch up with Coyote and Mario and see how their day has gone.
All right, so I'm grabbing my meat stick. Crocodile jumping time.
Oh, he's keen.
Coming right for it.
Yeah, hold it about a foot above his nose and
I want it in his line of sight.
yeah. Make sure you don't dump him over the fence. Yep. Yeah, nice. Yeah, turn him back if you want.
There you go, big guy. Man, all right. We have officially fed a dinosaur.
Oh, that was so cool. All right, Jake, so Kraken was impressive, but
very cool.
I think what I've been most excited for is to see his babies.
Yes, of course.
But
yeah.
are they babies anymore?
Well, they're yearlings.
Yearlings.
They're just about to turn a year old very shortly, so
okay.
They're growing quite quickly. I think we've got one that's dying to come out and meet
Yeah,
you, so.
I hear him. Oh my gosh.
So
It's a
this-
mini Komodo dragon.
It is. So this is one of Kraken's offspring. We don't quite have names for them yet, but
okay.
I'm fairly certain that this one is a male.
Obviously, smaller, much leaner, and it seems way more active, because I know when they're younger, they're more arboreal, right?
Yeah, they're pretty well exclusively arboreal. So out in the wild, a dragon this size would be spending pretty well its whole life in the trees up until about 4 or 5 years old. And at that point, they're kind of large enough and confident enough, to make their way to the ground, Komodo kiss, and they can kind of interact with the adults a little bit. But at this size, he would absolutely be a small snack for even his own father. I have no doubt that if this dragon were to meet Kraken, that Kraken would attempt to consume him.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Their claws are quite extreme at this size.
I don't mind
they are
the claw-
moving around in the trees.
Yeah, I don't mind the claws at all. Very curious.
Very curious, very inquisitive. He's probably going to make his way up onto your head.
That's fine. He could do whatever he wants.
They do love to get as high as they possibly can.
How long did it take the eggs to incubate?
Yeah, so like a lot of the large monitor lizards, very long incubation. So exactly 7 months this guy
7 months.
sat in his egg for in the incubator. But thankfully we came in one day and one of the eggs had a tiny slit, and we knew that it was only a matter of time before we were met with our first little hatchling.
Amazing.
And, it was easily the highlight of my career. There's no doubt about that.
Kind of speechless. I really don't know what else to say. These things are amazing.
They're incredible. They have all the confidence of an adult. What we often see with big leap, what we often see with juvenile monitor lizards is for the first, sometimes few years, they can be very shy, very nervous until they get a bit of size. Whereas with the Komodos, right from the get-go, straight out of the egg, they were very confident, and they've kept that confidence right the way through.
Oh man. I think I won with the experience. Hanging out with Komodo dragons was definitely the top of my list to do. Yeah.
Look at this. Oh.
Whoa, those claws are sharp. I think I'm gonna have the scars to prove my experience. Now, I've loved monitors all my life. Childhood dream
Incredible.
to hang out with Komodo, so thank you very much, Jake.
No worries.
I'm gonna let you take your baby back.
Come back. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it.
And
what an incredible species.
Yes, good luck raising your baby dragons into adults. I hope to see them when they're bigger.
All right, first one back to the rendezvous point. All right, here come Mario and Trent. All right, guys, get in here. That is officially a wrap on our day of going behind the scenes at the Australian Reptile Park to get up close with some of its most iconic animals. Mario, how was your experience?
Amazing. I got to walk an adult Komodo dragon and hang out with some babies.
Nice. How about you, Trent?
One word, epic. I got to milk the Sydney funnel web. Super cool experience.
And you're still here with us today.
That is right.
Now, when it comes to Elvis being the crankiest crocodile in all of Australia, I'd say that reptile's pretty happy after it stole that giant chunk of meat away. Needless to say, we did not win the tug of war contest. Big thanks to the Australian Reptile Park for having us out today behind the scenes, and write in the comments section below, tell us which one of our encounters do you think was the coolest. I'm Coyote Peterson.
I'm Mara the Killer.
I'm Trent Underwood.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see you on the next adventure. Woo, that's a wrap.